What's up everybody and welcome to the channel. My name is Sean and hey, are you in the market for a new credit card? If you are, I'm gonna go over credit cards, how they work and how to compare them. It's all coming up right now. Okay, so I thought I'd make a video about credit cards because I know they can be very confusing with so many banks and so many products offering cards and memberships, as well as different rewards programs. And how do you kind of cut through all the crap and get to figure out what is the best card for you? So today I'm going to outline 3 big numbers to look for when you're looking at a credit card, and hopefully this will give you the tools you need to compare your cards and pick the right one. So the first big thing to look at is the interest rate. If you look at your contract that comes with a card or on your bills, you'll see something called an APR, which stands for annual percentage rate. And that number is usually between 13 to 25%. And what that number is it's used to actually calculate a daily periodic rate. So that number isn't your interest rate per se, because a credit card calculates your interest rate every day. So to figure out what your daily interest rate is, it's easy. You just have to take your APR. So I know for my card, my APR is 20.75%. So I'm gonna write that as 0.2075 over 365 for how many days a year there are, equals 0.00056,849. That is my daily rate. So now to demonstrate kind of how interest is calculated, let's pretend that you only spend $1,000 on the card, and it's on the first day of your billing cycle or first day of the month, and you don't spend any other money on the card for the rest of the month. So the calculation for the first day would be $1,000 times 1.00056,849. Now remember this part here, that's your interest rate every day, equals $1,000.57. So that's, again, just the end of the first day. So now your new balance is $1,000.57. End of the second day, it goes like this: $1,000.57 times 1.00056,849 equals $1,001.14. Now, if you continue to do this over and over for 30 days, so the whole month, you'll end up with $1,017.20. So did you see how there's an extra $17.20 that you haven't even spent? That's just the interest, purely interest. Now, if you pay for the card in full by the end of the grace period, which is actually when your bill is due, then you don't have to pay for that interest. And I encourage everyone to please do that every month. All the rewards and special features of a card don't matter if you're carrying a balance and paying interest. That's how most cards make money. Also keep in mind, guys, that some APRs vary depending if you're late on payments or if you are carrying over a balance. So always just read your contract carefully. And that's only like $1,000. So I did some reading, and the average Canadian household actually carries over an average of $8,500 a month on their credit card. The US households were a little bit better at $8,300. So I took an average of $8,400. And if we did the same calculation, you have $8,400 and you spent nothing else on your card for that month, you'd actually pay $144.45 in interest that month. You didn't even spend anything extra on your card. That's a lot of money. That's like 10 months of Netflix. So that's why I say pay it off every month. Now, we've talked about the boring stuff with the interest. Let's talk about the fun stuff, which is the rewards. Now, this is where you're gonna have to try and compare cards that have different point systems and things. The easiest way I found to compare them is to figure out the dollar value of the reward and then figure out how much you have to spend to get that reward. So I know on my card, I get 2 points for every $100, but I also know that every point is worth $1 towards any travel expense. And to me, I use those, so that's pretty much cash to me. So if I did my calculation, my return would be 2 points or $2 over $100, which is what I have to spend, and that equals 2%. That's a pretty good rate of return for a credit card. Now let's get another example. Let's say you want to buy a $50 gift card, but you have to spend $10,000 to get that card. Well, the calculation would be $50, which is the value of the gift card, over $10,000, which is what you have to spend, equals 0.005, which is actually 0.5%. So if you were comparing where to spend your points on, say, a card that offers you both, you would say, well, I'd rather spend it on travel because I get more bang for my buck. So if you can do this, if you can figure out a value for what the rewards are, you can easily compare cards next to each other and figure out what works best for you. Finally, one last thing to watch out for is the annual fee. Some cards will have you pay a fee in order to be able to use the card. So I know my card actually charges me 120 bucks a year to use it. And at first I thought that's a lot of money, but then I thought about it and I compared it to the free card, which only gets me 1 point for every $100, so 1%. So I thought, well, there must be a way to figure out where I break even. And so if you're trying to figure that out, here's the formula for that as well. You will have to know how much money you spend on your card every month or every year to figure this out. So I use a money tracker, or even a spreadsheet will work. Anything where you're tracking your spending would be where I would go to make a decision on this. So if we say X is equal to that break-even point, it's the annual fee, so for me it's $120, over the rate that I get on my card, so 0.02, which is 2%, minus the rate for that free card, which is 0.01, and that actually equals $12,000. Now I know from my tracker that I spend more than $12,000 a year on my credit card. So I could say, well, if I spend more than $1,000 a month, then paying for the card is actually worth it. Now, keep in mind that we put all of our donations, all of our bills, all of our subscriptions, anytime we can pay for a meal on a card, we do it. And so our spending on the card is actually quite high, but we pay it off every month. So we easily clear $12,000 a year, but I know that even though I'm paying an annual fee, I'm getting more points because I'm doing so. That's how I decided on the card. So there you go, guys. Those are my 3 big things to look for when you're signing up for a credit card. What credit cards have you guys signed up for? I'd love to hear from you. Leave some names of cards in the comments below and let's talk about it. Until then, I hope you guys have a great weekend and we'll see you in the next video.